Mellows. What's up, girl?
What's up? What's up?
Dude, this is something different, right? I don't know what gave me the idea for this, but I was like, let's do an after hours chat so people can interact with us, I guess, outside of character. Man, what a night. Where do we even start with that? I mean, dude,
I lost it, man. I lost it.
I don't know. So out of the two, I think like funny moments we had was when I said your truck was taller than giraffe. I had to mute that because I plan on like posting this on like Spotify and stuff afterwards. But was it that or when you missaid my character's name?
Oh my god. They are just
I mean,
I wish you could have seen my reaction because
I'm going to.
Lost it.
I don't know with the name thing. I'm not sure you were still live.
No, with the name, but I have it still. I have that reaction.
Okay, because I definitely have to see that because with the truck one, I think you were still live. And I'm gonna go back on your stream and watch that because I was in tears.
Yeah.
And I've got to give credit where credit is due for that because I got that line after watching Justin Nunley's TikTok page.
Oh god, that dude is hilarious.
And he said something was taller than giraffe, you know what? And it just popped into my head when I saw your truck. I'm like, oh, I got to get that in somewhere. I got to get that line in somewhere. And it was like, why did you pull me over? I'm like, well, because your truck is taller than giraffe. No, it was too and I was in tears.
Yeah,
I was gone.
I lost it, man. That's why I was silent for so long because I couldn't even push the dog button.
It was priceless. Those moments, I'd tell you, are what make it worth it. It is absolute gold. But I prefer these sort of things to be like free-flowing conversations. I might quiz you on certain stuff and we'll chat it backwards and forwards. But I want to know what actually got you into gaming.
What got me into gaming? So.
And what was your first game that you played?
Well, let's be real. So I started playing, Nintendo. I had a regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And loved playing Super Nintendo. And then got a 64. I used to play Mario Kart, 007, all that good stuff. And then as the games progressed, I got really into playing any kind of baseball game. So like when MLB The Show finally came out, I loved MLB The Show.
Are you a habitual player of the show?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I love it.
I think the thing that holds me back from playing it more than I do is console only.
Yeah.
It is, and I kid you not, I have a Series X in my living room. It used to be in my studio, but it's in my living room now. MLB The Show is the only game that I own on it.
Right.
I don't own anything else. Everything else I play on PC. MLB The Show is the only game that I play. And so I joke and say it is the most expensive copy of the show I've ever bought in my life because it's the console for it. I had a PS5. I sold that to a coworker of mine, and I went with the Series X. But that's the only game I have. What do you play it on?
I play on PS5, so I love it, man. I've always liked him on his show. I'm big into baseball. I love watching baseball.
You can't tell me you play as the Phillies though.
Well, listen, no. Let's be real. The Cubs are my team, right?
Okay.
I love the Chicago Cubs. It's not the Phillies. I have a love-hate relationship with Bryce Harper. I don't know what it is, but I have a love-hate relationship with Bryce Harper, and so
yeah,
it's not the Phillies.
It's not the Phillies. Okay, so it's Harper. It's Harper.
Yeah,
so you kind of like you follow Harper in MLB like a lot of people follow LeBron in basketball. Like no matter the team, you're following him.
Well, I used to get really into like keeping up with MILB stats. So when they're in minor league, I would keep up with their stats. And so like I followed Harper all the way through the minor leagues. I followed Trout all the way through the minor leagues. I followed a lot of players all the way through the minor leagues with their stats, and just kind of I've really turned into more of a player fan than a team fan.
I can respect
because
that.
they switch so much now. Like nobody stays with one team their whole entire career.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, can we even think of the last person that even came remotely close to doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Yankees wise, I don't know why Sabathia pops into my head, but I don't think he did. I think Sabathia came from somewhere else. I don't know the last person. I mean, I don't know anybody's done it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's done it. I mean, I know we've got baseball aficionados in the chat here, so I'm sure Senior's already on that. So Drew Palang's actually popped in here with a question. He wants to know what got Marsh into 5M.
Yeah, so I never played PC games ever. I was always a console player, always. And then when COVID hit, I got real into watching Twitch and was watching some people play 5M and was like, oh, what is this? This is so cool with the cop and civ action interaction. And I started doing some research. And at first I thought it was like something like a simulator almost. I didn't really realize that it was something with real interaction. And then, I just kind of started dabbling in it and I was hooked. I loved it. I was freaking hooked. It took me a long time to go into LEO RP too. I was a civ forever.
Yeah, when you first showed up on Outlaw, you was civ all the time. And what caught my attention, I was like, hold up. A woman's joined us. Fuck yeah. It was very Senior is he put in chat, he says, what about Wayno from
Wayno maybe.
So that when he said that, I was like, Wayno Yachty, because I think Yachty is a legit contender for this. I don't think Yachty has played or did play with any team other than the Cardinals. So, Senior, you've now got homework, so you're going to look up Wayno and Yachty. You can't, because I know the three legendary Cardinals are Wayno, Yachty, and Pujols. But Pujols did play with other teams. He spent the majority of his star career at the Cardinals, but he definitely played other places. I mean, he played LA and all over. But I think Wayno and Yachty are contenders, and I think Yachty transcends teams for me. If you're gonna pick a player that I'm a fan of, it is Yadier Molina.
Yeah,
for sure. So the question that I popped into my head, and I've asked other baseball people this: in their prime, would you have Yachty, Wayno, and Pujols, or would you have Stanton, Judge, and Cole in their prime?
Oh. Yachty, Wainwright, and Pujols, is that the first three?
Yeah, Yachty, Wayno, and Pujols, or Stanton, Judge, and Cole.
I don't know. Honestly, I'd probably say Yachty, Wainwright, and
Pujols.
Yeah, Pujols.
I'm gonna shock the world, and I'm gonna say the same thing.
I mean,
you are talking about
in their prime, you just can't beat it, right?
You're talking about consistency in and out, day in, day out. But Senior's going to look it up for us. He's going to look up Wayno and Yachty and see.
So I'm glancing right now. Cal Ripken Jr. did it with the Orioles.
Ripken never played with another team?
Nope.
Okay, I would have probably put him on my list. So we got Lang's asking me the same question. He says, same question to you. What got you into streaming and what got you into 5M? So GTA roleplay for me, I've been doing that since at least GTA 4. I want to say I did LSPDFR or the equivalent to it back in San Andreas. Never streamed it. I didn't stream until GTA 5. But so 5M, I remember when 5M was just an idea that they came. I mean, I've been doing it since the beginning. And so that was easy for me, but it was an evolution of LSPDFR into 5M, and actually getting to play with other people just made it amazing. I love that it's still in chat. You get, how are you interacting with other people? I'm like, guys, this is not LSPDFR anymore. Seniors come back with Yachty did play his entire 19-year career with St. Louis. Wayno also spent his entire career with St. Louis. So you got Yachty, Wayno did it, and Cal Ripken did it. I don't know. Did you think one of the Ken Griffey Sr., did he do his entire career? Or did he play? Junior played with other people. But I'm talking about senior. Because
Ken Griffey Jr. was my favorite. Not my favorite. One of my favorite players growing up. I love.
Who was your first favorite player?
Chipper Jones. 100%.
Really? Chipper? I saw
a huge Braves fan growing up.
My first MLB game ever I was in 6th grade, and it was at the old Turner Field, and I saw, ironically, it was Atlanta versus Philly. Atlanta ended up winning it 12-4. Chipper hit a home run from either side of the plate. Andrew Jones hit a home run. Brian Jordan hit a grand slam. And I was like, I didn't watch another major league game live for like 15 years. I was like, I've seen baseball in one game. I've seen it. I've seen home runs from both sides. I've seen grand slams. I'm like, I'm done. But I'm going to throw the question back at you. What got you into streaming?
So, I played for a long time and I just played. And, I watched a lot of people stream. And I never really thought I would ever stream. And people started asking me, they're like, why don't you stream? Why don't you stream? And I'm like, I ain't gonna stream. Nobody would watch me stream.
Yeah.
And so they just kept asking, and so I finally was like, well, screw it, I'll try it. And so, I just
because during my first tenure on Outlaw, to my knowledge, you were not streaming at that point.
Nope, not at all. I didn't stream at all, and I only started streaming a couple months ago. I think in July, the middle way through July, I started streaming.
Okay. I started doing it like regularly about a year and a half ago, roughly. I started like dabbling in it, COVID, like a lot of people did, and got serious into it about a year and a half ago-ish, give or take. Call Sign Gun wants to know what all servers have you played on?
So my first server I ever played on was SACRP, and I was there for a long time, all the way through 2020, through 2021, and then, you become such good friends with people you play with, and several of my friends left and started their own server, and I wanted to play with them, so I left. It was called Paramount State Roleplay, and it didn't last very long. Me and this other guy were doing all the work, and it just didn't last long at all. And so we left there and went to a place called San Andreas State Roleplay, and it was a server about similar to Outlaw size-wise, and I played there, and then I just busted. The owner, he made a dumb decision and really ended up losing all of his people. So I tried Eco out. I did Odyssey Roleplay, and they were only open at certain times, and I wanted to be able to play whenever I wanted to play. And so I actually started watching your streams.
Yeah, okay.
And that's
What'd
how
you find me on? Did you find me on TikTok or
no,
Twitch?
It was on Twitch. I found you on Twitch, and I was like, oh, this server looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
And so that's how I found Outlaw. That's how I ended up here, was because I found your streams, and I was like, oh, this guy does good on the ORP, and so I wanted to
to deliver the content that we deliver together as almost a team, dare I say it, it definitely takes two to tango, for sure. For myself, the first server that I ever streamed was TSDOJ. And then I promptly, you hear first, folks, I promptly got banned from that server, and justifiably so. So it was during a craze on TikTok where you put like gift symbols on your stream. Like galaxies, I'll do this. Like you gift a galaxy, I'll do this. You gift a hat, I'll do that. That kind of stuff. One of them was I think it was gift a money gun or something like that, and I'll drive myself into a gas station. Well, the gas station that I happened to drive myself in, I think had the server owner at it, and they were not pleased. So after that, as far as streaming servers go, that's when I think I came to Outlaw. After that. These are my Leo servers. I went to Outlaw after that, and then I did a little bit of time on a server that I will not name because I do not agree with them at all. And then for Leo, obviously I'm back where I should have been the whole time. In my opinion, for Leo RP is definitely Outlaw. As far as serious Civ RP goes, I played on a couple of whitelisted servers. The main one that I play on now is NoPixel. Their whitelisted server, which as far as whitelisted servers go is probably creme de la creme, in my opinion. I've been on Rush Hour RP with Strafe, and a couple of others, but for whitelisted now it's NoPixel. So I play NoPixel there, and Outlaw as Leo. Senior came back with Ken Griffey Senior played for multiple teams, so he doesn't count. So we've got 3 people that have done it so far in Cal and the other 2. I don't know if there's been any Yankees that did it, because I mean some people might name drop like Babe Ruth or something. He didn't play for the Yankees the entire time.
It said Mantle did.
It said who?
Mickey Mantle did.
Mickey Mantle played for one team. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's been my server history. My first game game system. Yeah, I don't remember if you remember those original Game Boys, those handheld Game Boys.
Oh yeah, I had a Game Boy. 100%.
Yeah, that was my original, and I think this was probably when I was like 4 or 5 years old, still living in England. And that was my original one. I don't know how we got it or anything like that, but that was my original. And I think it was a Spider-Man game on that.
Cool.
I want to say it was Spider-Man. We had Spider-Man and something else. Was it? But my first console was Nintendo 64, and the first game was GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, I had GoldenEye. I freaking loved GoldenEye.
Yeah, it's like if you played like System Link with people, whatever, nobody was allowed to be Odd Job because he was too short, and you could crouch down and duck everything. That was our rules when we played it like after school stuff. Is nobody could be Odd Job. Odd Job with the P90. All right, so we got another question. This question's for Do. What are your thoughts on people that clout chase with other streamers? I'm going to ask you that question, Mellows, after I'm done answering it. Clout chasing other streamers. I tend to stay away from it. So when I first started streaming on TikTok, the 2 biggest questions I got is, do I know Strafe and do I know Officer Messer? Those are the 2 biggest, because they are arguably the biggest TikTok GTA streamers, are Strafe and Messer. And so shout out to those guys. I'm whitelisted on both of their servers. But I don't, as a rule, stream there for that exact reason. Is because I didn't want to be seen as, oh, there goes some guy just trying to, make a name playing on their servers. And it's also why a lot of the time I don't stream NoPixel as well, because whitelisted RP is a lot of like daily life like kind of stuff. So there's huge chunks of like downtime when you're just driving from one job to the next or getting one material to the next. But it's also why I operate a little bit different. It was like I play on Outlaw, obviously mainly for the people that also play there, but also because it's so well governed that I feel comfortable telling my viewers, hey, if you want to come play with me, this is where you can do it. I don't hide behind a whitelisted wall. You don't got to go through tons of apps and interviews and shit like that to come play with me. You want to come play on the server and you got your head screwed on, all you got to do is join. That's it. You want to, fuck around and find out, the staff are there to handle that. So clout chasing, I don't do it. Obviously quickest way to get banned from my stream is to self-advertise. If you hop in and you're like, hey dude, I appreciate it. It's like, first thing is you see that new follow, and then the first time chat is like, hey, I'd appreciate a follow back. Nah, you're out, gone. It's also, for those that don't know, a violation of Twitch's terms of service anyways. So what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think the most important thing when you stream is you got to be your own person.
Preach.
You can't.
Preach.
you can't try to follow what anybody else does. Like, you got to be you. And if
Yeah.
you start trying to use other streamers or, you know, use them to get you somewhere, it's just not going to work. You know, people see right through that. And I think it's really important to just be you and do your content and not worry about anybody else.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a great addition to it, is be unique.
Yeah,
you want to get into streaming, just find your niche, be unique, and patience.
Yeah.
You know, it'll come to it. Senior says, no, we're not I'm assuming you're not a fan of Houston either. But Craig Biggio, butchering that last name, played his whole career at Houston.
Yes, I should have known that.
Yeah. So my first, you said Chipper was your first, like player fan thing that you remember. Nolan Ryan for me.
Oh yeah.
Nolan Ryan for me because he was the first guy to throw a ball over 100 miles an hour. And now it's almost like everybody does it.
Right.
You know, I got a buddy that plays for the Padres, and he actually slows himself down intentionally. You know, he can easily gas it over 100, but it's that controllability. So he usually fluctuates like in the, you know, mid to upper 90s just for control. Speaking of control, do you remember 2 or 3 years ago when they took Spider Tack out of the game?
Oh yeah.
And watching people's spin rates and control just go. Diehard Yankees fan used to love watching Aroldis Chapman close, but the second they took Spider Tack out of the game, his career was done.
Yeah, it was over.
It was over. Absolutely, his control just gone. Absolutely, and that's when he became, in my opinion, he became dangerous because his speed was still there. He's still gassing it 103, 104 miles an hour. I think with the Rangers this season, I think he touched 104, if not 105 again. But you imagine a 105 mile an hour fastball coming at your dome. Yeah, I mean, and you've got, they say statistically when he throws that hard, or any pitcher, not just him, you've got 0.3 of a second to react to it. You can't.
No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
There's no way. There's no way that you can react to that. So it's just dangerous. Like, I think Cole, and I'm speaking from a Yankees fan perspective, Cole has adapted fairly well. But I think he has also suffered. He is not quite what he used to be. In terms of spin rate and things like that, ball movement, he's had to adapt. Right. You know, I can't speak on other teams. My knowledge is not as diverse as other people. You know, you asked me about Yankees, I got you covered. Lang has a question. He says, how long did it take for both of y'all to get a decent amount of return viewers that kept your streams active? Go for it.
I don't know. I mean, I think when it comes to streaming, the most important thing is engagement, right? And I'm by no means a pro at all, but I'm going to be engaged with the people that watch me, because if they're watching me, then, you know, that's all that matters. Whether it's one person or whether it's 30 people, you know, like they're watching you because they enjoy watching you. So I think it's important to be engaging with them. Like, they want to hear you talk to them. They want to hear you answer their questions, you know, and I think if you can do that, you'll get that steady flow of people that just enjoy watching you, you know, and that's what I want. Like, when people come and watch me, like, I just want them to have fun and have a good time, and, you know, to feel important, because they are important, you know, everybody's important. So I think engagement is really important to get that steady flow of people coming in night after night.
My take on it, my answer to this is, I never actually know how many people are watching me, because I have for the last, when I started taking it seriously, I watched you know, people's tips and tricks like everybody else does, and that kind of stuff, and the biggest piece of advice I got was turn off your active viewer count. And so I don't ever know whether I have 10 people watching me, 100 people watching me. I don't know. Because my mindset is, I do remember when I had 3 viewers, and it was me on my iPhone, my laptop, and my iPad. And I was watching myself just to put that, like, whatever viewer count that I could in the corner. because I was like, the mindset is somebody's going to be scrolling through and they might say, oh, like low viewer count, let's click and see, what he's doing. And for those that are watching, nothing is more boring than you click on somebody's stream and all they're doing is staring at their screen. They're playing the game, but they're just staring at their screen. You can't wait for somebody to talk in your chat channel. You have to, like you said, engage. And even when it was just me watching, I remember giving play-by-plays. I used to be like, all right, we're going to turn left on East Joshua. We're going to go down to Seaview Road. We're going to stop there. We're going to run traffic, because that one person stops and watches you for 5 seconds. You're being engaging. They might say something in your chat, and you'd be like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you, blah, 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 and talk to them for 5 minutes. And then that person that stopped because you were talking, even to your damn self, might turn into a chat, might turn into a follow. And then at that point, you've got the opportunity to make them a repeat viewer. But turn off your active viewer count and talk to your stream constantly like those people matter, because those are the ones that got you where you are. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So great idea and great points. Thanks for the answers. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Not a question, but just wanted to say thank you to both of you for the positive impact y'all have made on me. I thoroughly enjoy both of y'all streaming. Well, thank you, Senior. I appreciate that, and I'm imagining Marshy does as well.
Thank you very much.
This is totally a new concept for us to do something like this, so we're glad y'all are enjoying it. That's how I started watching. There was lots of engagement. There you go. So proof positive from Kay from the testimony. That's how he started watching. I remember the first time I encountered Kay in Polito. I do remember the server, but they shall be not named because I don't agree with them. Anyways, I talk to myself a lot, so I don't have to work on that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm a professional talker, so I get that.
Dude, definitely. So what do you do if you don't mind telling the people what do you do for a 9 to 5? And then I will reveal what I do, because I know I did that TikTok teaser.
Yeah, you did do that TikTok teaser.
Did.
I'm a college softball coach, so I'm not a head coach. I'm assistant, but it's a lot of fun.
Did you play throughout your collegiate career?
I did. I played at Division II school, and
how'd you get into coaching though?
So I was a high school teacher. Let's rewind. So after I graduated college, I thought that's what I was going to go into. I thought I was going to be a college softball coach. I loved softball. I did lots of lessons. I thought that's what I was going to do. And I actually did. I coached at a smaller D2 school right out of college. Was there for a year, not making a lot of money. Head coaching position came open. I thought I was going to get an opportunity at it. Never got an interview. The very next day, I got a call from my high school that I graduated from that there was an opening to be a teacher, and that's what I majored in. And so I went and interviewed. I got the job, so I quit coaching college softball, and I actually never thought I would get back into it. That's one of those professions that once you kind of step out of, it's really hard to get back into. And I got back into it. I had an opportunity a year ago and interviewed for the college that I played at. I got to coach at now.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm enjoying it. We're for fall ball, we're gonna play at D1 school next weekend, so I'm super excited about that.
Okay, you're not allowed to guess my 9 to 5 because you know it. You know it. What'd you play position wise?
Second base.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the farthest I've ever gotten in life.
Dog, dude, you need to step your game up, man. You only got a second.
Right.
Woo!
So most people, to answer my own question there, then most people know me as either streamer or canine trainer. And sitting behind me as always, and most of the time you can only see his butt, which is what you can only see on camera right now, is Fluffy. Fluffy was the Malinois that I met when I went to the Police Canine Academy, now going on almost 14 years ago. So I went through as a private citizen, paid my own way, just as an idea to make my resume look good, because I went to school for criminal justice with the idea of a career in law enforcement. Dabbled in that a little bit. But then I had to go out of state to take care of my grandparents. They were getting old. So obviously qualifications don't transfer from one state to another. But so I do still dabble in that, I say, as a hobby. I dabble in the canine side of stuff, mainly because I enjoy competing in protection sports. But drum roll, please. My actual 9 to 5 is Costco. So I work at my local warehouse, and I've been working for Costco for it'll be 7 years in December, I think. Doing all number of things. I've worked everything up from management on down and back up again. And I enjoy it. You know, it's a very good company to work for, and it's a lot of fun. But if you refer back to the TikTok teaser that I posted, and I said this is the only angle that you're going to get, if you look out of, I want to say, my passenger window, you see the building with the red line going across it. And that was what I was seeing. If anybody was a true, like, Costco fanatic, they would know the building designs of Costco and what the paint scheme was. But nobody got it because I also cheated and I said wrong answers only. And I think, people gave all kinds of typical answers. They're like, hey, you give Handy J's in the parking lot for like $3 and stuff like that. I was like, well, that'd be a raise. Kay wasn't allowed to guess because he, along with, I think, Phone Man, are the only two that actually knew what I do as a 9 to 5 until just now. So, spoiler alert, that's what I do. What was your first job ever?
I actually think it was giving lessons, right? So I gave lessons while I was in college. I was
Softball.
actually very fortunate. I didn't have to work in high school. And then when I was in college, my assistant coach needed somebody to catch her lessons.
Okay.
So I just sat on a bucket and caught lessons
There
all
you go.
summer long.
So are you back to full-time coaching now?
Yeah, I'm full-time coaching now. So I gave up teaching in December of last year. So I've almost been out of teaching for a year now.
That's got to be nice. So what do y'all do in the off season?
I recruit. So we go to tournaments and recruit in camps. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, so
the job doesn't just stop because the season's over. It evolves and changes into the next phase.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've always wondered, like, what do coaches and stuff do in the collegiate level after seasons?
Yeah, it's nonstop. It never stops. We go, as soon as season's over, we go right into recruiting, getting ready for the next year. So
how far will you travel to recruit somebody?
We mainly stay on the East Coast, right? We'll go to Georgia, we'll go to Florida. I mean, we have some opportunities to go to the West Coast, but that's more of a waste of time than anything. I mean, we're better off just staying on the East Coast and getting girls that.
Is that because you find that they don't necessarily want to leave the West Coast and come all the way across the country? Is that the main problem there?
I mean, that's just it's a long ways to come to play ball at a D2 school, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I mean, having lived in the South where I do, as do you, living in Alabama, the only sport that matters here is college football.
Oh yeah,
it's absolute religion down here.
Hey, but their softball program is good.
Oh, they're good. So that's having paid attention. And I am not an Alabama or an Auburn fan. I, quite frankly, couldn't give a rat's ass about it. But having been around it for so long, and then now seeing the other sports start to really become competitive. Because it used to be that all the Alabama and Auburn were known for was college football. And that was it. And now they've started building softball programs, gymnastic programs, stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, now they're actually starting to branch out and break away from that stereotype of just being a college football school.
Yep.
And that's kind of exciting to see. This is Senior says, this is so cool. It's like a podcast-esque stream. Senior, spoiler alert, that's exactly what it is. We were originally, I think I floated it to you, I DM'd you in the middle of the stream. I was like, hey, you want to do an after action podcast? And we talked about it for like 5 seconds. We're like, shit, why don't we stream it and let people watch and interact and ask questions and do all that kind of stuff. Lang says, honestly, the more I think about it, I could see like a teacher. There you go. So I knew that already about you, though. I knew that from way back in the day. You told me.
So let me ask this question, right?
Okay.
What do you guys think I taught?
Am I allowed to answer that?
You know, though, don't you?
I'm pretty sure I do. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 95% certain I do. I know the Kay, she wants to know, what do y'all think she taught? Weaver thinks she taught astrophysics.
Thank you, Weaver. I knew somebody thought I was smart.
Kay says literature, but she can't read.
Literature.
Pirate Bat says PE or math. Cade says PE. Weaver says history again. And Weaver actually knows as well. So
Weaver's wrong guesses only right now.
Oh, yeah.
I taught PE. It was high school PE and fitness, so it was like weight training.
Okay. History. He made another stab at it and said history, but
oh, you should have stopped while you were ahead.
yeah,
Come on now.
yeah, you said PE right out the gate. Lang says I was thinking younger grades. Yeah. What do I win? You win 5 brownie points. I knew the answer. You can't spoil it. But what do you mean you can't spoil it? That was the first answer you gave. Was PE. Come on now. But man, so PE was what you taught.
Yes.
I remember my first PE class in the UK was it was our gym / lunchroom / I feel like it was a classroom at some point, but we had all of them in the same room, so it was kind of weird, like eating lunch around the gym equipment. I'm like, this is a little interesting, but now you pay for socialized education. That's what you get. No shots fired there. But you come to the United States, you get a real education. But so, did you play anything else besides softball?
Yeah. So in high school, this is gonna shock you guys.
Okay.
I ran cross country.
Okay.
Played basketball.
Okay.
And then softball. So I ran cross country to stay in shape for basketball. Played basketball to stay in shape for softball. Everything kind of went back to softball. It was all about, getting ready for the softball season.
What was your best distance in cross country?
So we just did the 5K.
Okay.
But my best time for a 5K was 2015.
That's not bad. 5K is what, 3 miles?
Yeah, 3.1.
It was 20 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 15 seconds.
That's not bad. I think my best 5K was probably in the 25-minute range.
Dang.
There's puppers. There's puppers.
Camo. This is Camo.
Camo, meet Fluffy's butt.
Hey, buddy.
Now my thing was I used to enjoy the shit out of running. I still do. But I was more of like set a distance or set an objective to run to, and I didn't care how far away it was.
Yeah.
My mindset was just don't stop running. I can run as slow as I want, just don't stop running. But my fastest mile was 5:58.
Dang.
Yeah, that was my fastest mile. For a lot of the PT tests around here, it was always 1.5 miles. So I think my fastest 1.5 miles was like 10.5 minutes, somewhere in that range. And you could always tell the guys and gals that had prior service in their background, because there was one dude that I think he must have just shown up right out of boot camp, and his 1.5 miles time was like 7.5 minutes.
My God.
And I was like, thank you for your service, but thank you also for making me look bad. I mean, he was just straight out the gate. And so we had to do this PT test for police departments. The state standard required 25 push-ups in a minute. There was this one chick that I think she came out of Army or Marine boot camp. And so she was going into the National Guard variant of that. So I think it was Army. But she's like, the test givers were like, hey, minimum requirement is 25, but obviously if you can do more, it's going to make yourself look good. And she was like 45 seconds into this minute, and she was passing 100.
Oh my God.
And I was like, golly, I'm struggling to do the 25. And she's like, every one that I'm doing, she's banging out 3 of them. And I was just like, golly, It just made way to make me move. But instead of get discouraged, I turned that into motivation, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do 26 next time. You know, let's get there. What was your like aha moment when it came to sports? Like, this is what I'm gonna do.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm a very competitive person, so like
No, not
anything
you.
I do, whether I'm playing COD, you know, I'm very competitive.
Oh, we can hear the roids rage on COD.
Yeah, 100%. I'm very, very competitive. So, I mean, I started playing ball at 4 years old. So I played t-ball, played baseball. And actually, when I started playing, I only played baseball because they didn't have fast pitch as an option. So my mom actually hated it. She wanted me to play with girls, not with boys. And I'm like, Mom, it's fine. I'm fine. But they finally offered softball at the rec place that I played at. And she made me switch. I was pissed because it was slow pitch. And I was so freaking mad. I'm like, this is boring as all get out. But as soon as they changed over to fast pitch, I loved it. And I was hooked ever since, you know. I mean, it's just a fun game. It's fast paced, and
Are you aware of what the fastest softball pitch ever was?
I mean, I would guess probably 72. But
no, it's higher than that. It's higher than that. Senior or somebody in chat will have to do the searching, or I can do it here next to me. Actually, hashtag 2PCs. Time to use it. I think it's upper 80s.
But was that done by a girl or a
guy? Oh no, I stand corrected. The fastest recorded softball pitch is 77 miles an hour, achieved by Monica Abbott of
Monica Abbott. That's what I was gonna guess. 100%.
Team USA. She did it 16th of June, 2012. Let's see. I mean. Fastest softball pitch thrown by a man is 104.
That's insane.
Bullshit.
That's ridiculous.
I'm calling cap on that.
They can like do a crow hop when they do it. It's bullcrap.
Yeah, I'm calling cap on that. Yeah, we're gonna trash that from the conversation because I know the fastest MLB pitch. Quiz question for you: who threw it and how fast?
Wait, say that again.
Fastest MLB pitch ever thrown.
Oh, hold on. I know this.
Do you want a hint?
I think I know this actually. Hold on.
So no hint. Go for it.
What's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? I know his name. He played for Arizona, right?
Nope, it's not Randy Johnson.
Oh, it wasn't Randy Johnson.
Nope, he did hit the bird though.
Give me a hint. I know. I remember
the player's name has already been mentioned in this stream.
Oh, Nolan Ryan?
Nope.
Oh, what's his name? Chapman.
Yeah, it's Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
So there is discrepancy in this record. So there was 2 speed guns in use that day, and one of them clocked him at 106, and the other one clocked him at 105.9. So, and unfortunately, the MLB one is the one that clocked him at 105.9. It was the TV, like ESPN camera or whatever it was, that clocked him at 106. So I say 106 because that was what was on the TV. Right, 106, but it was Aroldis Chapman, I believe, when he played for the Reds. And it's where he got the nickname the Cuban Missile. But yeah, he's thrown the fastest MLB pitch. There's been guys that touched close. There was a guy this season that hit 105. There's a guy, I don't know if he still plays for Vandy or if he's gone into the minors now. He might be in the minors now, but he threw an average over the course of the season of like 104 at Vanderbilt. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I was watching, so in Birmingham where I live, we have the Barons. And I went to a game at the start of the season. They were playing so the Barons are White Sox affiliated.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the team's name, but it was the Cubs affiliate in AA. I want to say somewhere in Tennessee, I think,
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm
Memphis. Not Memphis. Chattanooga Lookouts. Is that right?
might have been.
I think it's the Lookouts.
Okay, that's not going to be an accurate statistic of 108.1. Nolan Ryan never threw that hard, so I don't know. He didn't throw 108.1.
Smokies, the Tennessee Smokies.
That's
by
it.
The way.
Their starting pitcher, I don't know who it was. It was some Latin guy, like I want to say from like Dominican or something like that. This dude, his fastball was 102, 103 consistent. Like just absolute gas from this guy. But I could immediately, so I started, yeah, there you go. Senior says the Tennessee Smokies. But I sat down, I was like, all right, this guy's caught my attention because he's throwing this hard. And then it clicked in my head. I'm like, this is why he's in AA ball, is because he had no control over it. He was on absolute gas, just had no control. And I think I remember like Discord snapping or messaging like Senior and a couple other guys, like, I'm at this game. This dude is throwing absolute heat, but he can't control it. Right. And so he's obviously in the minors to work on that control. Whoever his name is, if he learns to control that speed, we will see him in the majors for sure. But that was it. But I don't believe. I'm gonna try and find what he's saying about 108.1 Nolan Ryan. Let's see. The pitch was read 10 feet from the plate instead of where modern pitches are read from much closer to the mound. After extensive testing, it was found that 100.9 mile per hour fastball at 10 feet from the plate is closer to 108.5 at the mound. So the 108 that you are mentioning is the exit from the hand speed, which does not count. It is measured much closer to the plate, if not over the plate. Now, and so that's why Nolan Ryan's 108. Because I mean, if Aroldis is throwing it 106 at the plate, imagine what that exit velocity is. It's got to be 110 plus. So that's why you can't say that that's the case. I mean, if you are, what's the distance from mound to plate? Is it 65 feet?
Is it 65?
I want to say it's. Come on, baseball aficionados, help us out here. We're having a brain fart moment. Distance from mound to home plate. Kay, you just started watching baseball this year. He says 50 feet.
It's 60. I thought it was only 60. So it is 60 feet and 6 inches, dude.
Is it really? 60 feet, 6 inches?
Yep. It's 43 in softball.
Okay. Why does softball not have a mound?
I guess,
or is there no logical answer to that?
There would be no reason to have a mound. I think it would be the real thing. I don't think there's any reason to have a mound either because we have a rise ball. They don't have a rise ball in baseball.
That's what the softballs are made of?
What?
Didn't you say? What are you saying? Did you say resin ball?
No, we have a rise ball.
Okay. I thought you were saying resin. I'm like, they throw chalk bags. Yeah, because it's totally different. Your ball rises and MLB it sinks. Right. for lack of better terminology. I mean, hence the phrase sinker.
I mean, we have similar pit. We have the screwball, we have the curveball, we have the drop ball, we have a drop curve.
It's just your curve goes up instead of MLB is down, essentially.
I mean, it depends, right? But we do have a rise ball, so that ball cuts up. And I'm telling you right now, if you watch any Major League Baseball that is trying to hit a rise ball, they swing and miss.
They can't do it. They absolutely cannot do it. No. Because it's totally alien to them. I've watched many videos where you get pro softball pitchers, Olympic, collegiate level ladies that absolutely will strike the shit out of an MLB batter because it's just ball movement they have never seen before and gets them every time. Absolutely every single time. And then you get that video that I sent you where the guys just yeet. I would love to see that happen. Like, you can pick Team USA if you want to, and just get the pictures from there and throw them against the MLB guys.
Well, you know, Jenny Finch has done it.
Oh, really?
Against Albert Pujols.
No way.
She made him look like a fool. Like a fool.
Oh, I'm going to have to see that, because my prediction is that they would make the batters look like fools.
Oh, Albert Pujols looked like a fool. His face was priceless.
What did they throw? Did she throw from an MLB mound, or did he play on a softball pitch?
No, she threw from the 43 feet, right?
Okay.
But so that's equivalent, though, to she probably threw at 65, so a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to a baseball.
Yeah. And I bet it was the ball movement.
Yeah. Oh,
I bet
yeah.
it was
I mean,
absolutely...
she did the right. I mean, it just jumps up. I mean, it's just crazy.
Lang says, next question, what is the slowest MLB pitch? And they know the answer. I want to say, without looking it up, I mean, both hands here, without looking up, I want to say it's like 33, 34 miles an hour. It was an eephus pitch, and I want to say it was like 33, 34 miles an hour. But yeah, I feel like we're about to know, Lang, so go ahead and reveal the answer. I think 33, 34.
I just looked it up. You said 33, 34?
Yeah.
31 miles an
31,
hour.
so I wasn't far off. I knew it was in the low 30s. It was an eephus pitch. I want to say it was a position player that was put on the mound. And I don't remember the teams involved, but it was a position player that was put on the mound and threw an eephus pitch. Which, I mean, pretty much when you put a position player on the mound, every single one of them is an eephus pitch. But, that was a good question. That was a good question.
Bill Spaceman Lee.
Who do you play for?
Boston Red Sox.
There you go.
Against the Cincinnati Reds. Game 7 of the 1975 World Series. The Red Sox were up 3-0.
Yeah. Kay's like, y'all lost me. What's an eephus pitch?
You know what, Kay? You need just go get a book about what baseball is and
yeah.
what.
Well, I mean, yeah. The first thing he did was became a Padres fan this year. So.
Wait. Oh man.
But I can't shit talk the Padres because they are probably my number 2 team.
Well, they have Chris Bryant now, which came from the Cubs, so I'm a Chris Bryant fan.
So I won't name drop, but I know one of their starting pitchers. Famous person in my phone. Yeah. But this was horribly by chance somebody that won the World Series with the cheating Astros in 17. Yeah. But so Yankees are my first. Padres are probably second or third up there with the Braves. So I hope I get the opportunity to go and watch the Braves in the World Series again. That would be a blast. Hashtag meet and greet. But I went when they played Houston in I want to say it was game 6 that I went to when they won it. But I didn't go in the stadium. I sat at one of the bars in the Battery. Have you been to Truist Park?
No.
So I sat at one of the bars in the Battery, and I was like, man, I'm not spending $1,000+ for a seat. And that was, I think, like general admission, which is just standing room. I was like, miss me with that bullshit. So we sat at the bar in the Battery and watched it on the TV, getting piss drunk. And every time it was like weird because you'd hear the cheers from outside the bar because it was like that 5-second TV delay. So you're like, well, damn it, he just hit a home run. Was it Chris Bryant is with the Rockies? Where did we get on the Chris Bryant? I don't know where that came from.
Is it with the Rockies now? Whoa.
There you go. Senior is like our baseball guru here.
He is with the Rockies now. What the heck? Who wants to play for the freaking Rockies, man?
I don't even think the Rockies players want to play for the Rockies. But the only game that I've ever seen in Dodger Stadium was Dodgers versus the Rockies. Bat says he got his daughter her first official Atlanta Braves shirt this weekend. There you go. Dodgers are the best. The Dodgers are currently getting trashed in the postseason.
I didn't realize the Braves won tonight 5-4.
I believe the Dodgers lost again. MLB. Let's have a look here. MLB post.
4-2. Arizona won 4-2.
Yeah, I think Arizona leads the series now.
Atlanta beat the Phillies 5-4.
Oh no, 4-2. It's bottom of the ninth. That's still going.
Oh, it says final on mine. I think it's
Oh,
not
I guess
updated.
maybe
It says
mine
final.
just hasn't updated. Yeah. Let me refresh that then.
Bro,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
as long
Arizona
as
leads.
Houston doesn't win, I'm happy.
So what are these? These are best of 5 right now? Okay. Twins are tied 1-1 with the Astros. Braves and Phillies are tied 1-1. Ooh, Rangers beating the mess out of the Orioles. Well, I say a mess. It's 11-8. That's not that bad. That's a high-scoring game, though.
Yeah, that is.
It's a high-scoring game. Mellows, it has been absolutely real, girl. It's been a lot of fun, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you go follow this chick on TikTok and Twitch and the whole 9 yards. Y'all have been awesome. We will catch y'all in the next one. Peace, everybody.